Do you recommend far red infrared saunas, and how often?
Oh, I just love far infrared. But I will say this: I'm in a facility right now where I've been going to, where I'm getting the colonics actually, where they have an old far infrared sauna, and it's kind of like it's a high EMF, it's high electromagnetic field. So I don't like that one. So I'm not even using that one. I did do it one night, and I was like, whoa, this is things that like radiation coming off of it. So make sure you get the low electromagnetic field heaters, or you're using a sauna that has low electromagnetic field heaters. Those are really nice. Now, if I'm at home in my normal routine, we have one at home, so I'm there. I might be doing it every day. Sometimes I'll get up in the morning at 5 in the morning on a freezing morning, and I'll be like, I'm just going to go straight into the sauna and just lay on the bench, and I'll sleep there and turn the thing on. Next thing I know, I wake up and I'm sweating, and it's great. So that's what that's doing, is it's sending out radiation that can penetrate deeper into your body than most saunas can, and that radiation is able to move tissue, instigate the reverse transcriptase, so it has antiviral effects and all kinds of interesting abilities to detox your body deeply. So if you have something that's deep down, mercury poisoning or something that got into your system, infrared saunas are one of those tools. Not only just feels good to sweat and get that out, but it can actually help mobilize your body's ability to get toxins that are deep in your tissue out.
Is having community and a social life a health benefit or just fun?
Oh, well, we're a social creature. A human being is a social creature. We need community. It's part of being a healthy being. We know that for sure, actually. There was that great story that was researched in Pennsylvania. It was a town, it was like Reardon, Pennsylvania, I think, something like that, where they had the lowest heart attack rates in America and greatest longevity in America. And everybody's like, it's something in the water. Maybe it's something in the food. So in the 60s, a bunch of researchers showed up there and they were like, okay, let's just check this town and all the surrounding towns. Maybe it's something in the water, maybe it's something in the food supply. What they found out was is that this town consisted of people who literally 100 years before had a boat pulled up on one side of Italy, on the east coast of Italy, and was like, we're going to America. Who wants to come? And like half the town's like, we're going to America. And they jumped on a boat and they ended up in that town. So it was a strongly knit Italian community, and they found that the number one cause of longevity in that community was the social cohesion. It was the social cohesion. I suspect this is the most important thing about health of all, is being socially connected. Just imagine, and I've looked at this on breast cancer research. If somebody gets a breast cancer diagnosis and they go home and they have a dog or a husband or someone who loves them, their chances of survival are 3 times higher than somebody who doesn't have a dog or somebody to love them, or someone they're alone. That's profound research. I mean, that means that's more important than any therapy. That's the most important thing, is the social interaction. The biggest fear that human beings have is fear of rejection. What's that mean? It means a fear of social rejection. This is why the shaming on social media is such a crisis issue, and why people like will commit suicide and all these crazy things happen. It's because social acceptance is a major human need. It's a human need. It builds health. It's very helpful. The internet actually, especially in the old days, and we'll get there again. Right now, there's a huge censorship campaign, and these companies that are censoring will actually lose their audience, and they'll go to other platforms which are being built right now. Many of them are great, even out right now. So what the internet does with the communication platforms is allows you to connect with like-minded people, which is good for your health, actually. It's good for your health. So suddenly, actually, like, oh, I'm not crazy. Oh, other people actually do colonics. Wait, other people love fasting. Other people are actually like to drink water, or whatever the thing is. So that social connection that you have through the internet, it can be very supportive of health, especially in a crisis. Like, I have a friend of mine who I'm in touch with every day. She helps me with various business things, and she's in a really troubled situation with what's going on in Quebec right now. What's going on in Quebec right now is really disturbing, and she needs the support that I'm there for her. I feel like that. I feel like that I'm communicating with her, that she's able to interact with me, because you can't have meetings in Quebec of more than 6 people, and they've just gone totally draconian. It's gone overboard. This is typically what governments do. They just go, oh, it's a power grab. Let's go overboard. And it's not good for people. It's not healthy. But because she can reach out to me, and I'm sure others, I think it's helping her health for sure. She feels like she's living with purpose and she got something to do. And this is a major human need. I think it might be the biggest need.
What are your thoughts on the first 12 months of the COVID virus, and what should people do to keep themselves safe from COVID?
I'm more in the Dolores Cahill camp. She's the leading virologist out of Ireland, and this is just because of my anecdotal experience and what I kind of saw firsthand. I'm pretty sure that actually COVID-19 or whatever this is, this phenomenon, actually hit California in December of 2019. I'm positive of it because of the respiratory infections I saw in people late in the month of December of 2019. And then for sure was in Western Canada by February of 2020. And pretty much, I think, peaked out at the end of April. So whatever happened, that was when the real action happened. Since then, what happens is this stuff goes into the environment and your body adapts, people adapt, it mutates, and it calms down. So this is why like a Spanish flu can't go on forever. Why doesn't it go on forever? Because eventually it calms down. Eventually things sort themselves out. And so we're in that stage right now. It's calming down. It's essentially sorted out. So I would say at this point, you just do the same things that I've been advising all along about just being healthy and staying away from colds and flus and fevers, which is one, make sure you do the bowel cleansing and get the waste out. This is a very important piece of health. Number two, tissue cleansing, squish, infrared saunas, swim, yoga, get upside down, get your tissue wrung out like a sponge. That's number two. Number three is then we've got to make sure what's coming in is clean. So we're going organic, plant-based. Make sure you're eating lots of vegetables because the fiber, so things are moving through your system, so you're not getting constipated, that kind of thing. Number four then becomes the herbs and the right supplement regime and that kind of a thing. That would be the charcoal and the medicinal mushrooms and all those other things that come in on top of that, and also the parasite killers. Make sure you're on the parasite killing herbs, and that's the general layout of the strategy. Eventually, as you get more sophisticated, then you can move on to things like electronic medicine, zappers, and other things that are Rife machines and pulsed electromagnetic field devices, which are just kind of able to kind of bump you up even another level if you want that or understand that. I'm big in electronic medicine. I think there's just incredible breakthroughs, and I've used zapper devices for decades now, and I've seen them work in miraculous ways. And so I know they work, because people go, well, I read on the internet, it doesn't work. It's like, well, I have 20 years experience. So I'm going to tell you, when you take a zapper and you put it next to an infection, like somebody has an infection, like, somebody gashes their arm or something, and you put a zapper next to it, watch what happens in 10 minutes in terms of the infection. So it's really amazing. So I've been through all that. So anyway, so that's my general gist of how to be healthy. Of course, you've got to make sure you're getting sunlight, fresh air. You can't just do all that indoors. You got to be outside. We like to say, like, get outside the box, which means get outside because we're in a box. So get outside and get that sunlight, because that's the vitamin D factor, which is one of the biggest factors, actually, strangely and interestingly, with COVID-19. And it just shows you how corrupt governments are, because they never talk about vitamin D3, even though we have over 80,000 studies on D3 in the immune system. It's never even talked about in any kind of media. So that's an important message to everybody listening right now. We have 80,000 studies. I think it's 83,000 studies on vitamin D3 in the immune system. You never hear about it on the media or the news. That's why I don't watch TV, because they're trying to sell you a product. They're trying to sell you a pharmaceutical product. They're trying to sell you whatever their thing is, this drug or whatever. Just look at what the commercials are on TV, and that's going to tell you.
With that, why was it important for you to come speak at the Real Truth About Health conference?
I loved speaking on this subject. It's my passion. I do it every day, and you got to do what you love in your life. If you do what you love, you will be happy, even in spite of all the disasters and catastrophes of life, which will come. It's part of life. You'll be happy. And so I have been through many disasters and catastrophes, but I always found solace and I always found peace in my heart with my work, which is sharing the good news about health. And that's why I came. And it's something too that I think is right now with what's going on is something that's an even more important message than ever before. Because again, we're getting so many, it's basically sales pitches. People come on TV and like, I'm going to sell you on this. You have to take this, whatever, take these drugs or take this injection or whatever. It's a real sales pitch. I'm just trying to say, hey, how about get outside? How about sunlight? How about the things that are here, the wild food that's already here? How about the bowel cleansing and the tissue cleansing? How about the fasting? And these are the balancing messages that need to be out there to the other stuff.
Well, we thank you for that message, and we thank you very much. You were very gracious with your time, and keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. And to everyone out there, have the best day ever.
Thank you so much, David. Be well.
Cheers. You too.